Hi there guys, Plonker88 here. Now I believe I promised you a review, disambiguation, overview, however you wish to call it, of the Beatles Remasters, the 2009 Uber box set. So that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today, now, right at this very second. Bit of a different camera angle, please tell me whether you like it or not. I'm not sure how often I'm going to be able to do this particular camera angle, but hey, please bear with me. I have closed the door to make sure sound travels well. I am sitting closer to the camera than I am to the box set. I'm just going to tilt the camera slightly because to me it seems slightly off. I do apologise if the box set's not completely centred, but don't worry, I'll be moving it around as this review goes on. I don't have my obligatory cup with me, as my big mug, as I've literally just finished a cup of tea. I was actually waiting for my dad to go to work before I could set up this camera angle. But please feel free, go and grab yourself a cuppa. This could be quite a lengthy review. So, once you've grabbed your cuppa, pause the video if you like. I would say I'd wait 2-3 minutes for you to grab your cuppa, but that wouldn't be fair on the others who aren't going to grab a cuppa and just already have one. Maybe you already have one, maybe you've already made yourself a cuppa. I'm going to sit down knowing this video could be quite lengthy. So, you've grabbed your cuppa, or you've already got your cuppa. You're going to sit down and watch my disambiguation of the Beatles Stereo Remasters, shall I say. Let's get on with it, shall we? Right, I know for a fact this isn't in full view when it stands up. When it stands straight up. I do apologise for that, but I'll try the best I can. Right, the Beatles Remasters. Sorry, I keep calling them the remaster, but they are the remasters. I wasn't a fan of the Beatles, and basically, in case you didn't know, I'm British. And the Beatles, as far as music's concerned, are pretty big when it comes to both British history and British music. They're I'm trying to think of the words here, but that they had the globe behind them. It wasn't just a nation. They had the globe behind them. They were an absolutely massive band, very talented. There were 4 very talented people associated. In fact, you could say there were 5 talented people with George Martin, their producer. Please don't take any of my comments as gospel. Please take them with a pinch of salt. I am not a Beatles aficionado in any way, shape or form, so please take them with a pinch of salt. And if you wish to correct me on any of the points raised, please put something in the comments. I do wish people to get as much information about the set as possible and the history. We're going to continue on with the history. Now, I didn't realise, not being a Beatles fan, or a beatard, or beatard as they're called, please say I've got that correct, that the transition to CD for the Beatles has been somewhat of a sketchy history. I believe it was 1987 when the Beatles first came to CD. I'm not sure which the first album that came to CD was, but apparently it wasn't true stereo from what I'm understanding, from what I've searched on the internet. It wasn't true stereo. That they did a few tricks to try and get the quality and the what stereo kind of should be. Also, don't forget that the technology back then was in its infancy. Remastering technology was in its infancy. Stereo technology, you could say, was possibly in its infancy. Compared to today, it was definitely in its infancy. And people also know the political history when it came to the Beatles. There was quite a, I don't want to say violent, but quite a an eruption of a split up. I hear. I'm not gonna go into any details because I don't know many details, but their split up was pretty nasty from what I understand. So we're actually getting all 4 of the Beatles to agree to this. Bear in mind, there's actually 2 of them only alive now. God bless George Harrison and, of course, John Lennon. Basically, Ringo Starr, Richard Starkey, and Paul McCartney, sorry I forgot his name for a minute, also say Sir Paul McCartney, finally agreed to put their differences behind them and agree to this set. And apparently this is the first time in which the Beatles have gotten the remasters they deserve. So with 5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes into the video, you finally actually get to see the set. I know, good isn't it? Let's have a look. So you've got the front of the set there. I'm going to try and get it into shot for you. No, I'm just going to go. So you've got the Beatles with the drop T there, and of course, for me, who I have reviewed gadgets in the past, of course I reviewed the Apple iPods. It is quite funny that, of course, that's on there. There's a bit more history concerning that, so I'll just leave that over there and focus on that. I would zoom in, but it mutes the sound for a period of time, and of course I don't know how long it is, so I can't really judge it. It seems to be different each time it does it. Apple Records were the first people to use the Apple logo, and for years and years and years, if you don't know, and I'm sure you probably worked it out already, Apple Corp, C-O-R-P, and Apple Inc., of course, the computer electronics company, have been in a political war. And it was only last year, I believe, on the anniversary, or around the anniversary of John Lennon's death, that Apple finally, both Apples, should I say, finally agreed to settle their differences, and for the first time the Beatles actually came to iTunes. That's another bit of political history when it comes to this set, and again adds to the lore that is the Beatles. The Beatles, to me, aren't just a band, they're their history, and the controversy surrounding them, the Apple Corporation surrounding it, the whole political problems, everything surrounding the Beatles was a real attraction for me. It's why I paid so much for this set. We'll get up to price later. So, really, really nice sets. The first 3 sides, and of course the left, right and front, are really minimalistic. You just got the, and you probably can't really tell on camera, especially where I've got the lamp on at the moment, but if I was to turn the main light on, this would probably reflect too much, so it's very, very, very glossy. And when I do the video on the fake copy, you'll definitely see a difference. Now we're going to switch around to the back, and it's a lot more colourful. Now, I'm not going to be able to show them off particularly well, but anyway, the studio recordings. There's 217 songs remastered for superior sound, deluxe packaging, bonus video. This set contains, well doesn't it contain, all 13 original studio albums digitally remastered in stereo. And they're the albums. I would read them out to you, but I'm actually going to show you them. So, and there's a quick snapshot of the cover of each of the albums, along with the past masters and the mini documentaries. So there you go, guys. So this lovely thing here is a slip case. Comes off, and this, I'm not actually going to hold it up like that like some people have, is magnet clasped like that. And again, the quality of this is absolutely premium. The quality, I can't tell you how high quality this is. So I'm actually going to put this over here now, and basically stacked, you can actually see the top, stacked here and here are all of the Beatles albums. And I've just noticed something, unfortunately I do have to change because it will annoy me. My dad was looking at these the other day. Yeah, and he got them slightly mixed up. Got a bit of an OCD when it comes to this. Anyway, so let's go through the packaging. I haven't actually seen anybody go through this set in its entirety. And I mean, look at every single album and blah blah blah. So I could be wrong. By now there could have been someone put it on there, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway. So you've got these black tabs, these ribbons that you pull, and out comes the albums. So we're actually going to take this stack, put the stack there, and I'm going to take each album and I'm just going to show you it. So this is the Beatles debut album, Please Please Me. You've got the 4 Beatles across. I'm not going to name each of them because I don't know them by their face name, their faces. But you open it up, and each and every album is like a gatefold. There's a nice picture of the Beatles. You get a lovely, lovely book with each. Oh, there we go. Really, really nice book. I'm not going to show you the book. I'll flick through this one quickly just to show you this format. You'll have some pictures in there of the production of the album. You'll get liner notes, and there was actually some additions towards the back in 2009 by Sir George Martin. When he was the guy, basically he was the guy that remastered this set. Possibly there, and you get a nice. I think that's the original shot, because of course it's brown, as if it's aged. But very, very nice. I'm going to say that a lot throughout this video, by the way, so please be warned. So you got a nice picture of the Beatles there when they were young, when they were in their infancy, as could be said. Their next album was with the Beatles. I don't know anything. Sorry, I actually didn't show you the back. Probably the most crucial part, because it has the track list on there. I do apologise. There we go. There's another picture. Pull the back a little bit. Show you that. So I'm trying to give you as much information as possible. This is going to be a long video, guys. So please, at any point, pause it and go and grab yourself a cuppa. With the Beatles, as I said, I'm not going to go into the Beatles themselves much yet. Maybe I'll touch on a bit later, but and I'll say why I got this set. You've probably got some understanding why I have already, but just in case you haven't. I know it sounds really strange, but throughout, I've looked at a lot of videos of this set, obviously, before I considered shelling out the money I did for it. And those of you that possibly considered buying it, or searched it, or seen it, know how much it is. It's not cheap. Again, gatefold, nice picture, and then you got a nice picture of the Beatles there. Again, a nice book. That's the back of the book. I probably will show all the books off in a separate video. It's just they're going to take probably equally as long to show you the albums. So, and the video would then be too long, as far as I'm, you know. Yeah, what I was trying to say is a lot of people have reviewed this box set, and it seems, as they're talking about it, as they're talking about the quality, they seem to slow down, talk more precisely, and seem to smack their lips a little bit. I don't know what it is, and it's only this set. In fact, there's people who do tech reviews that have picked this set up and done a video on it and talk like this, and consider every thought and look into it nicely. I don't know what it is, even I'm doing it. I don't know what it is about this set. Even my dad said there's something about this set that's magical. Apart from the fact it's the Beatles. I'll keep on saying it, but every aspect of this set is high quality. So that was Hard Day's Night, which is the soundtrack of the movie, obviously. Sorry, I say obviously, people may not know that. And each of these discs, I might just, I'll say this again at the end, but each of these discs also had the mini documentary on there. We now have Beatles for Sale up there. I'm not showing you the discs. I'll probably show you this disc actually. Again, nice picture of the Beatles. And I will show you this disc just to give you an idea what they look like. And I'll show you Magical Mystery Tour disc because it's actually quite a nice disc. But the discs, and I've got to be careful how I say this, are replicas of the original records as far as I can tell, but not in the way that the mono box set is. And that could be a completely different video, so I'll stop there. But yeah, they still have the 33.5 rows per minute description or thing there, so it's really funny to look at a CD in. It's really good. So I was just looking at that. So you got the book again, it's the front, the back. I'm going to have to speed up a little bit, guys, because my camera's running out of battery. So, help! I do apologise, I might have to skip showing you the books in a bigger detail and the track list, but of course that can be found online. We now have Rubber Soul. And from what I understand, Rubber Soul and Revolver are very similar in style, but people have said they are some of the best albums the Beatles have ever done. And some of their more experimental stuff I do apologise, but my camera is going to run out of battery, so I do need to hurry up. Maybe I did actually charge it. Charged it just before this video commenced. That's a long video, hey. My current personal favourite, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, because it has probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Beatles track, which is With a Little Help from My Friends, and my other favourite track that I've grown to like, It's Getting Better. And the back. This definitely starts to lead towards the more colourful era of the Beatles. There we go, we've got a nice shot there. Didn't show you that shot of the Beatles looking towards the left, you could say. Depending how this is. Oh, I'm showing you the book when I shouldn't. I actually wanted to show you the CD very quickly. No, it's not that one. Magical Mystery Tour is the one. So I'm going to put those back. There we go. And we have, of course, the Beatles' latest stuff now. Magical Mystery Tour. This has, I think, probably the thickest book in the entire collection. You now have more colourful shots than previously exhibited. And there you go, a nice shot. And this is the one I wanted to show you. I really like the rainbow around the outside of that. And again, it looks like the front of a record. Next up is the Beatles' White Album. I think it's their first and only double album, wasn't it? The Beatles, I'm not quite sure, but there you can't see it, but there the Beatles is bezeled in. There it is again, but in plain sight. The back, not much to see with this one. On the back of there, you do have pictures of the Beatles. Very minimalistic, and it's actually quite funny that this is white and it's apple. I do find a very cool irony there. Monochrome pictures of the Fab Four. So you got John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and I really can't tell George Harrison and Ringo Starr apart. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not enough of a Beatles fan, but hey, I forgot John on the end there. Sorry, John. Put that back. Where are we at? Right, 21 minutes in, guys. Hope you're enjoying it. It's probably going to be my longest video. You never know. The Yellow Submarine. From the film The Yellow Submarine. This took, don't take this as gospel, this took some, this took some songs that are on other albums, remixed them a little bit, and you know. So that's the back, front. You've got some nice, what I'd say, sort of illustrated pictures here, really cool and snazzy and jazzy, and got the Beatles in portholes, really funny and cool, and you have the Yellow Submarine, which we all live in apparently. Sorry. Now we now start to get towards the contested, what I call the contested area of the Beatles' career, in which they started falling out. They started, having arguments. Abbey Road, which again is one of my favourite albums. I think, is it on there? Octopus's Garden is brilliant. Maxwell's Silver Hammer, well, that's a superb song. Come Together, something. It's actually a really, really good album. Sorry, just is. The Fab Four. And the last, what I'll probably call the production album, maybe, for the Beatles, the mainstream production album that they sort of oversaw, if you know what I mean, is Let It Be. And from what I've heard, this was a pretty controversial album because the Beatles weren't really talking, as it were, and they weren't really friends anymore. It's kind of sad, and it's kind of also depressing that it is black, almost as if it's the death of or funeral of the Beatles. So, from a contrast from Please Please Me to Let It Be, pretty much summarises the Beatles' career. Now, nowadays, there's many documentaries. Do this first. This is basically all of the documentaries that are on each of these discs, just on a DVD, so you can stick it in your DVD player rather than having to use QuickTime. And you've got a nice monochrome type shot there of the production studio of them